What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Brand Doctor live stream. I'm your host, Henry Kaminski, with my man, always Qureshi. What's shaking, my dude? Oh, and by the way, we just and our co-host, Kanela Kaminski.
What's up, Henry? What's up, man? What's going on, everyone?
Whoa, man, I'm excited to get into today's topic, man. You know, why your customers aren't buying from you. So doesn't that suck? You know, you see your competition grabbing market share left and right. You know, you see them online closing deals left and right. And you're sitting there going, well, why the hell are they buying from them and not me? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that today and dive into some questions that I want you to ask yourselves. And I'm actually going to pull a slide from my brand accelerator workshop that I do with actual clients when we go through this part of the process. And so we're gonna mash this up, and hopefully you guys have something to write with, because I know you're going to be taking some notes. The other thing that I want to encourage is everybody that's watching live, if you have questions, please drop them in the comments and we will address them and highlight them. And we want you we want you to be part of the conversation as much as possible. So let's dive into question one. Well, first, let me show you guys quickly the document that I use that discusses competition and how we actually dissect competition. So there's a couple questions here. Okay. The first question is, whose clients would we like more of? So always, you don't have to name names, but are you aware of at least 3 direct competitors that you would like more of their client base?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why those competitors and not someone else?
Well, we're, from time to time, we're also head-to-head competing against them when we've either met with a client or we're submitting a specific bid. Mm-hmm. That's one piece. The other is that they're acquiring much larger long-term contracts with clients. So it's not just the branding piece; it's just a continued support and ongoing work. So it's more of a long-term relationship. So you're essentially seeing some recurring revenue that's being generated as a result of that relationship. It's not just short-term tactics and now we're done and we don't hear from that client. So really that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm missing out on from time to time. And those are the agencies that I'm looking at as like, okay, well, how do we need to do things differently that match the caliber that this agency is working at?
Yeah. That I'm looking at the copy on the page. I'm looking at their brand's footprint in the marketplace. Like, how do people react to them? Mm-hmm. Right. So what I do is I go to their social media, and I'm not too concerned about like what they're posting. I am. Don't get me wrong. I am. But where I like to get the gold is in the comments. If you go to an Instagram account of a competitor and you look at the comments, are they good? Are they bad? Are they ugly? Are they complimentary? Are they, what is it? How is the audience reacting to them? That's really what I want to see. And I'm really paying attention to the language as well. And I'm going to give you guys a little sneaky trick to use later on in the episode that all it'll take you is 15-20 minutes of a little research, and you're going to have a wealth of insight. So I love what Winning Proof Unscripted said. Oftentimes the competition offers a far inferior service, yet they win the business.
I love that. Yeah.
How bad does that hurt? Like, how bad does that suck?
I have been in this. So and it is frustrating, Henry, that there are that's actually a direct competitor. I will say this is a direct competitor that, it's frustrating that they have very little respect for their own work, and they're putting out, lackluster work out there. And sometimes it's just, they're just churning through it without really taking note of how that's going to have a long-term impact on the client. And they're still able to retain that business. So
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other reason why I follow other competitors versus typical competitors, I guess that's what I'm trying to get at, is I'm looking at how they sell. Yeah. Do they have a nice sales process? Right? One of the best investments I think you can make in marketing is to go buy your competitor shit. Like, go buy their stuff.
That's a good, yeah.
It's the best, especially if their stuff is a couple $100. Like, you're not going to get better research than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's worth every penny. Like, I don't look at that as a cost. I look at it as like an investment. Obviously, I want to dive deeper, but the other thing that I want to do is I'm looking for price points. Are there price points similar to mine? Right? If they're a higher ticket firm, I want to. That's another reason why I go deeper on some competitors and not others. Right? Some are like churn and burn. Some are like one-off project type of firms. I'm looking for like the done-for-you firms. Those, I want to see how they operate. Right? Yeah. So for those folks that are watching, pay attention to that. Find the competitors that have similar products than yours, similar services than yours, similar prices than yours, and dial in on that. Now, what's the next question? How are these competitors earning their clientele? How are your competitors earning their clientele? Do you know, Always?
I really think that they have an email list.
Okay.
And I think that's really where they're hitting, because, you mentioned social media and how you look at the testimonials and some of the comments in their social media posts. And again, particularly for some of the competitors that I'm head to head against, they have a very little, or at least they have a weak social media footprint in terms of they're continually posting, but there isn't a large amount of engagement.
I see.
Yeah. So they might have a following, but they're not necessarily, they're not necessarily seeing that level of engagement. You don't see comments there. You're not seeing them respond. However, from a business generation standpoint, I would say that, they're probably embedded in various different channels. One definitely, you talk about this is having an email list, and then the other one, and just continuing to build that up.
Yeah.
And then, there's various organizations here as well where I do know that they're a part of. I'm a part of that as well. Chamber of Commerce is another one. So different business networking groups as well. So, I think it's a combination of each, and then of course continue to network and raising awareness of your brand. I think is just is instrumental in being able to attract the type of client that they're attracting, and it's the same thing for us.
Yeah, yeah. When I'm studying competition, one of the things I'm looking for is I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at their lead magnets, and I'm looking at their what they call tripwires. I don't even know if they could still call them that anymore, but like their introductory offer. So you have your lead magnets, which are typically free. They could be anything from like ebooks to checklists to you know, those types of things, those digital downloads, whatever they may be. I'm looking at what those are, like what are they packaging and bundling, and what is their irresistible front end offer? That's what I'm looking for, right? I see a competitor, they have like this 3-pack bundle, and it's completely free, and it's all it is a bunch of PDFs, but they have them neatly and eloquently named. So it's pretty impressive. It's pretty spot on. So I'm looking at that, and then what is the first step? Like, what is that first purchase? What is that first low end offer that they're selling? Right. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because that's how they're earning their clients.
That's right.
The other thing I'm looking for, is you mentioned it, is their email list. So I highly recommend you get on 2 or 3 competitor email lists. Yeah. Like I have a separate email just for these guys, and I'm getting pelted every day with emails from my competitors, and they're basically giving me a lot of great positioning ideas. Right? Yeah. They're giving me some
just their messaging. I mean, they might be able to word it a very specific way that maybe you haven't thought about in the past, right?
Yeah. So Pete Butler, he says, and don't forget the quality of their work and the design quality of their site. That's true. Like if you look really, really low budget, you're not even on my radar as competition. But if you have a nice site and you have some decent work behind you, I'm even more intrigued on how you're earning that business.
Yeah.
Joshua says, I love seeing others copy and emails and ads. Yeah. It is the biggest, what's the word? Secret to taking the guesswork out of your marketing is just, but you have to pay attention. You just don't want to be a copycat, right? You just don't want to be a copycat and like, steal their email, language and redo it. You want to ask yourself, what's the psychology behind this?
Exactly.
Why are they saying it like this? Why are they talking like that? Right. You got to understand the why behind it, not just the how.
Yeah. Take time to really deconstruct. And I tell my team and I challenge my clients with this as well. Take time to deconstruct the message, deconstruct the design, and figure out exactly what is the purpose behind why this is phrased in the manner with which it's phrased. And then, of course, understanding the motivations of the audience as well. Like, what is this supposed to trigger? What sort of a perception is it supposed to shape once it's read by the audience?
Exactly. So I got a couple more tips, but before we get into those, quick little message. If you're a business owner who feels your branding isn't truly representing the value that you deliver, check out this free video training that will help you level up your brand's messaging and online presence so that you can start attracting higher quality clients. Visit www.uniquedesignz with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/level up my branding. All right, so let's get back into this. So, last question. What do you think your competition could be doing better with attracting and earning that new clientele?
Well, that's another good question. I mean, I would say, just like I mentioned earlier, I mean, in terms of boosting their social media presence and how they're interacting with people that do engage with them, and just increasing their engagement. If there's an area of opportunity, I think they might be missing out on generating, the visibility for themselves on there.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I put a lot of emphasis on, I put a lot of value on, is how transparent they are. How transparent and authentic they are online. So if I reach out to them, whether it be on a Zoom call or, you know, do they give me the runaround? Do I get an attitude once I take the leap and actually engage in them? Like, I want to see how authentic and how transparent they really are. And are they coming out from behind the brand? Like, I put a lot of weight to that, right? Because I've dealt with a lot of companies over the years where, like, they look so friendly and approachable on their social media, and then when you actually get on the phone with them, it's like you're doing them a favor. Oh, I'm sorry. They're doing you a favor by taking the call. I hate that attitude.
Yeah.
I hate that attitude.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask my clients this question the way I ask it is because whatever they're not doing, here is your opportunity to do just that. Right? I like what Pete's saying here. Yeah. It's funny how that question will get the clients to go off on competitors and what they're missing, and then you'll see they're missing what they say competitors need to improve.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I ask the question the way I ask it. Yeah.
It's a great question. I mean, you know, again, it kind of exposes that area of opportunity that you can leverage.
Yeah. 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 Like, I don't see the majority of my competition. I do not see the frequency of touch points as high as mine. I mean, Christ, we're live streaming on some sort of platform 4 freaking days a week.
Yeah.
Right. And I may pull back on that a little bit. I didn't get a chance to tell you offline yet, but I think I'm going to pull back my IG lives back. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to do that once a week because I could use that 30, 45 minutes to do some other things that I want to focus on over the next couple of months, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that offline. But these types of live streams, like Monday, Wednesday, like, they're not going anywhere. These are like staple pieces of content that I really enjoy doing it. So it's not work to me. But it's those touch points that I'm going to continue to do and be in it. Like, you know, who does a really good job of this? Damon John. Like, I love that he coined himself the people's shark. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
He's always in front. Yeah, he's always in front of his audience. And look, I completely agree with Orange County websites. I see Henry's stuff at least 5 times a day.
You can't get away from me.
You cannot. I challenge everyone right now. Open up your Instagram right now and see if you see Henry's face. You'll see him there.
Yeah. And you know, he talks about Chris Do as well. You know, he's another one. You know, he puts himself out there, and that's a big thing. You know, that's a big thing. We got another way here. Yes, I love all of Henry's content, and I actually open his emails. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, so that's a testament to the fact that you stay consistent. It's on target with the people that you're actually wanting to communicate to. So it's not like you just have an email list that just really lacks relevance. You know, there's just people that just randomly got on your email list and not necessarily opening. So what we're seeing here is a testament to that. You're just, again, making sure that all of your messaging is dialed in, and they're continuing to come back and continue to listen to you in one way or the other.
Yeah, one of the things I started to do differently this year is come at email from a different angle. For example, we get a lot of emails, right? Especially from marketers. They're all pretty much the same thing. They're either long form or short form with a big punchy call to action at the bottom. Right. Come buy my shit, whatever it is, right? And there is a time and a place for that email for sure, because if you don't ask for the sale, you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
My approach this year was, you know what? Why don't I leverage my 7,000 person email and get more people on a video, on a live stream, instead of just trying to pound their inbox with a sale? And so you'll notice, I don't know if you guys that are watching this live have caught this, but the frequency of emails have gone up drastically over the past 30 days. But we're not asking for a sale on every call, on every email. What we're doing is we're reminding you to come check out this video every Monday and Wednesday. It's going to be something new, right? And it's always a topic that I think is relevant to the audience. And so far, so good, because I'm seeing the numbers, the views increase. Especially the live viewership has gone up drastically, and I see the YouTube channel subscribers going up too. So we're doing something right here. We're doing something right, and that's something that you have to really pay attention to. Like, okay, when everybody's zigging, how are you zagging? And that's how we're zagging. We're using email, but my concern is getting you on these live streams, because if you can interact with me like this is way more intimate than a freaking email.
That's right.
Right? I agree. Not annoying. Many others are, but Henry's is practical. I've wanted to coach with Henry for a long time. Just hasn't been in my budget allotment yet. I get it. And that's okay. I'll put emphasis on the word yet, and that's something that I pride myself on. I really do. I'm not for everybody, and that should be a good thing. And eventually, and I've seen clients come up. Last year I there's no way I could have touched you, but this year I can. And they move forward, and I forget about that. Like, there's a lot of equity in that. There's a lot of equity in that, and just because a client isn't a client today doesn't mean they won't be one tomorrow. Remember that.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And just to speak to Michelle, Winning Proof, just because it's not in your budget today, rephrase that and say, how can I budget for this down the line?
Yeah, that was my attitude when I was struggling.
Yeah.
When I was coming out of that that point in my career where Fiverr was coming down, I was getting out of the nightlife industry, and I was at a turning point. And when I saw Russell Brunson's big $25,000 coaching program that I wanted to be in dearly, I was like, there's no way I could touch that right now. But it triggered something inside of me that said, okay, not now, but when. Right? It's not, I can't afford this. It's, how can I afford this? And then I started doing math. Okay, if I raise my prices to 10,000, all I need is 2.5 clients to get into this program.
That's right.
And bam, and that is unreal.
That's like classic Jim Rohn suggestion.
Yeah.
How I can afford it.
Yeah, there's some great dialogue going on. I can't keep up with the comments. Michelle saying, "Yep, that's how I need to approach it. Start a savings account for coaching. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Just like you have a marketing budget, you can have a coaching budget in your line item. right? As far as business expense or investment.
Investment.
Yeah, investment. It's something to look forward to. I agree about Henry, about Russell, the whole and when now, not later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you know you're getting it, you will do better before, and it changes your mind and everything, and confidence. Yeah. We got to get going because I have a meeting in 15 minutes and it takes me about 5 minutes to get there. So here's something that I do want to share with you guys. I'm hoping you're getting value out of today's conversation. And again, I would rewind this video and really highlight the questions that I asked earlier and ask yourself these questions and create a little document in Google like mine that I just showed you. I gave you a little snapshot on purpose and practice. Okay. But here's Michelle's funny real quick. Oh, I'm supposed to have a marketing budget? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Maybe that's another topic for another day.
Yeah. When to budget and how to budget.
What do you allocate for what? That's a great, that might be another future episode. Here's something that I got in my meditation this morning that I want to really share with you guys. It goes along the lines of something like this. There's a quote out there that says, "Those that continue to knock will find open doors of opportunity." And I thought that was very, very, I got like super emotional when I heard that, because there were many times in my career where I could have stopped knocking and turned around, and I didn't. And then Jim Rohn, this was a little clip from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said, "Life is not designed to give you what you need. Life is designed to give you what you deserve." And I thought about this because I made a pretty hefty investment this week that has the potential of creating some massive return. And I said to myself, had I not planted that seed, I wouldn't have a harvest or a potential harvest. And then I started thinking about farmers. I don't know why this popped into my head, but I started thinking about farmers. What happens to farmers if they don't plant their seeds or they don't plant their crops? They don't reap. They don't reap the harvest, right? They can't eat. They can't make their money. And it was interesting. Okay, I'm gonna share with you this, and then I really got to go. I was talking to somebody. I'll just say it. Somebody very, very close to me said, "If this investment doesn't work, Henry, I think that's it, because you already shit the bed twice." And I just sat there and I didn't respond. And the next word was, "It's pretty selfish for you to do that, and especially if it doesn't work." And I thought about this for a second, and I said, "Wait a second, is that statement true? Am I selfish?" Then I started thinking about all the things that I've done for this person over the years, where it didn't just benefit me, it benefited everybody involved. So that statement ain't true. I'm not selfish. Because the reason why I made this big investment is because if it does go, we're talking about generational wealth. We're talking about life-changing wealth. And then I thought back to the farmer. And I pictured this husband and wife on this farm. And I pictured the husband slaving his ass off, harvesting his crop, planting seeds. And then I pictured this giant storm coming through, or better yet, a massive drought coming through and wiping out his entire crop that year? Should the wife leave the husband because his wife got his harvest that year got fucked? And obviously the answer is no. So I said to myself, I'll be fucking damned if I live my life scared. I'll be damned if I raise my son to never take a chance in life. There's going to be times in life, guys, where shit doesn't go right. And you have to pick yourself back up and try again. So what happens when a farmer's crop gets destroyed that year? Does he just pack up his farm and leave? No. He waits for the right time and he plants again. So it's not the first. If this investment doesn't go well, oh well. It's not going to be the last time I make an investment of that magnitude. You gotta keep going. So, not to get all personal, but I think there's a lesson there to be learned. And that really hit me this morning while I was meditating and listening to this. I said, wow, you got to keep planting seeds, because if you don't plant, you don't get.
What's the cost of inaction?
That's it. So, man, that one was heavy. But I wanted to get that out because it was on my mind, and I think it could help some people today.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I got to run real quick. Today's code word is more sales. So what you got to do is you got to screenshot this right now. Go to Instagram, put this screenshot in your IG story and tag at the brand DR with the code word more sales. And we will take note of who did it. And if you do 8 of these in a row, you will win a one-on-one brand assessment with me, valued at $500. Okay, but you got to do it 8 times consistently. So we are live here every Monday and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I will be looking at this spreadsheet over here, and if I see your name 8 times in a row, get ready. You're getting an email. You're getting a DM.
And we're already seeing some consistency here.
Yeah, I see a couple names here already. So awesome stuff, man. Oh, repeat the rules. Screenshot this live stream right now. Go to your Instagram stories, upload the screenshot, tag at the brand DR with the code word. I'm not going to say it again. And I will be notified, and then your name will be placed in this document, and you'll be eligible. If you show up 8 times in a row, you'll be eligible to win that brand assessment with me. So, all right, dudes, I got to run. Oasis, I'll see you mañana. We're going to do an IG live stream tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern. We got the lovely Seema on with us tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about social media content. What's the right content to put out to attract the right audience? So
it's going to be fun.
Awesome stuff, guys. I'll catch you. So don't forget to leave a review. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave your biggest takeaway of today's episode. Have an amazing day, guys. Talk to you soon.
Hello.
That's that